The following takes place between 10 p.m. and some other determined time on a random Friday night after the kids have gone to bed.
Hello besties, how are we doing? I hope that you're having a wonderful day. If you're new here, what's up? I'm Nala. It's so good to meet you. Thanks for joining the vlog. This week we are going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. My very first ever 24-hour readathon. I'm gonna set a countdown on my phone for 24 hours. I am gonna click the little doobly-doo every time I start reading and click it when I stop. And that's how this is gonna go, because I'm a mom of 3 and I can't be sitting and reading for 24 hours straight. As much as I would love to, honestly, I can't do that. I've got the duty of being snack bitch. That's my job. To start off, I don't have it on me. It is actually in my bedroom and my toddler's sleeping at the moment, so I'm not chancing it to go in there until I'm ready to go and lie down. Start off the reading vlog. We are going to be reading Done and Dusted. I am a little bit under halfway through, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So it is about Emmy. She is a renowned horse rider. I don't know exactly what her title was. I think a barrel racer, possibly. And she had this accident. I don't know too much about it yet, but I know that she got thrown off her horse and hit her head pretty bad. And nobody really knows that she had an accident, except for our main male character, Luke, who is reteaching her how to ride. It's brother's best friends trope, and I'm having so much fun. The thing that I really like about this book that's different from like the Chestnut Spring series that I've read is Lila Sage has done a fantastic job of including a lot of details about actual like ranch work and taking care of horses, and it's kind of like what it takes to work a ranch and those jobs, and she just seems to know a lot about that, and it really helps to immerse into the world. Unlike with like the Wishing Well Chestnut Spring series, you can feel it is very country. It feels pretty country, but it just isn't, it like doesn't feel incredibly immersive. All I do know is that Gus and Teddy, is it Gus? Yeah, Gus, August. All I do know is that Gus and Teddy better have their own book. I'm pretty sure that they do. I think the next book is Wes and some other girl. I don't think that she's in this book, in the first one. So I'm very eager to get to the third book, which releases this year. Because the tension between those two, it's going to be like enemies to lovers. And I'm going to gobble that shit up. Anyways, I just finished filming my mid-year freakout tag. And I have all of this mess down here on the floor that I need to clean up. So that's what I'm going to do really quick. And then we're going to go get in bed. I just finished drinking my peppermint tea. I'm going to put these books away real quick. And then we're going to go get in bed and start our timer. I just spent like the last 15 minutes looking for my book. My kids hid it under the bed. I almost forgot my timer already. Oh my god. Somebody gonna match my break. Let's get to reading, bitches. Hello friends, we are back again. Nighttime. So my husband is currently out of the country. He's in Mexico right now. So I'm not able to get a ton of reading done during the day. However, I have a lot more free time at night. We'll just leave it at that. I say that, and then for my last night's reading, I still have 22 hours and 58 minutes. I really only knocked 1 hour off of my time, which is fine. I got pretty far into the book, I feel like. I don't know what page I was on last night, but I'm on 222. That's so funny. I didn't even notice that. I've been seeing the number 222 a lot. And those are some angel numbers. How crazy is that? Anyways, continue. I am on chapter 19, and we just finished. It's Teddy's birthday. I am just really loving this. I think I talked about it a little bit, how I just love how this is more so very ranch detailed. They talk a lot about work, and I like that. It's not just used as just a setting, but it's just really immersive in that way. We've already had a few steamy scenes, and I feel like it's been done really well. I like that they have had this sounds like I'm going to complain. I'm not complaining. So the thing that I really like about this story is that we've had opportunities where that tension is building, right? But they're not really doing anything about it in that moment. And so it gives the reader an opportunity to yearn or be like, come on, you could have done something. But they didn't. And it helps build up that tension of making us want it more, so that whenever these two characters finally come together, just burns so good. I'm going to continue. Let's see, I'm on page 222. There's 320, 100 pages. I wonder if I could read 100 pages tonight. I mean, probably. I know that I could. See if I can stay awake that long. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start getting into that. And we're going to start the timer once again. Can I just really quickly say that the scene, it's the morning after, and her brother, Emmy's brother Wes, literally comes to the door. Good morning, sunshine. Long night. He like looking at her funny. And then whenever she's done with the conversation, she realizes that she's still wearing Luke's shirt from the family dinner the night before. Everybody's gonna know before she even says anything to them, and they're just gonna be like, yeah, we knew. Was very good. I still have 21 hours and 50 minutes left on my thing, so that only took me, was that an hour? 2 hours? 2 hours? What time is it? It's only 11:03, but I'm kind of feeling a little bit sleepy. A little bit tired. Do I want to start a new book? Because the thing is that I am trying to finish my June TBR before the end of June, and I really don't have that much left. I have Dark Matter, Billy Summers, and Powerless. Is that all I have? No, I have something else. Wait a second, I'll be right back. I'll take you with me via microphone. I'm still here. Let's check and see. I'm walking to my office. Oh yeah. So, oh no, I have 4. Malice is the other one. And I don't really want to do another cowboy romance right off the bat, even though it's technically not cowboy romance. I don't want to start. Okay, hold on. So here's the thing. I don't want to start like a scary book, kind of weird book, like right before I go to sleep, because that's gonna cause some weird dreams. I have weird dreams, okay? that's gonna cause some weirdness. So I think that's where I'm gonna stop for now. And then my sister is coming over tomorrow afternoon, so I'll have a little bit of help with the kids, and I'll probably have a little bit of time to read. So tomorrow afternoon, I will start those books, perhaps Dark Matter. But we'll decide that tomorrow. For tonight, I am good. That was so good. I understand why people are very hyped about the Rebel Blue Ranch series. It was very short but very sweet, and I think it was just the perfect little quick cowboy romance read. I'm gonna go take off my makeup and then probably just scroll on the Tiki-Tac for a while. I shouldn't, but I wanna, so I'm gonna. This cat, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go look at her page too. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Say bye. Good morning, good afternoon. It's time to start a new book, and I have decided which one I will be reading, and that is Dark Matter. I did read a tiny bit, just to kind of get it started while my camera was charging. And I have 21 hours and 39 minutes left. We will be reading Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I got this from a Book of the Month box. I'm really trying to get back into my sci-fi jam, because sci-fi used to genuinely be like my favorite genre to read. The only thing that I really know is that our main character, Jason, he has been living this life. He has a wife and a son, and one night he is going out. He's walking in a street at night, and masked abductor knocks him out. The life that he's been living for these past several years, like 20 years or so, were not real. But it says the answers lie in a journey more wondrous and horrifying than anything he could have ever imagined, one that will force him to confront the darkest parts of himself, even as he battles a terrifying, seemingly unbeatable foe. So it sounds really interesting. It sounds vaguely similar to like this dream that I had of probably like 8 years ago. Like, you know how sometimes you have one of those dreams that just like really stick with you forever? I had a dream kind of like similar to this. The concept of where it's a dream within a dream, like a dreamception kind of thing. So I'm very excited to get into this, and I'll let you know. I'll come back with an update once I have read a little bit more. I'm only about 15 pages in, so not much at all. Literally, we've just encountered the masked abductor. I will come back and update you when I have more. Alright, I officially have, I don't remember when I last left you off, but I officially have 19 hours and 15 minutes left, so still quite a big chunk of time left, and I am about halfway through. So far, it is fun. I'll say that it is fun. Nothing incredibly mind-boggling yet. It is pretty predictable, pretty much from the get-go, who the masked abductor was. It was pretty easy to tell almost right away, like whenever Jason like woke up and they were questioning him about a bunch of things, that we kind of, I mean, you could guess immediately who his abductor was and all of that. So no surprises there. I do find the science behind the box very fascinating, but so far nothing that has surprised me yet. The way that people talk about this, they seem as if they say it's like really mind-boggling and it really wowed them. So nothing has like particularly wowed me yet, but I am having a fun time. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's giving me like 5-star potential yet. I mean, maybe 4-star at best, just because I'm waiting for that thing that's just gonna be like va boom kind of thing, you know? This book is giving me very much, I've never read The Bell Jar, but I know the idea behind the fig tree. And so with the fig tree, we have all of these different figs growing off of the tree, and they're almost like different paths in your life that you could have taken. The woman sits there underneath of the tree. I'm gonna try and like not butcher this as best possible as I can, but the woman sits under the tree and she sees all of these possibilities in which her life could lead to. And she sits there and sits there and sits there until eventually she sees all of the figs withering and decomposing and ends up wasting all of those possibilities. And so it's better to pick the one fig and enjoy it and see that flourishment. So it's seeing all these possibilities that your life could lead to. And I really can't go into much of it, because if you want to go into this book without knowing absolutely anything, then if I give you even just a crumb of something, then you'll know exactly what's going to go down in this book, pretty much. I'm going to get back to reading, hopefully. I should maybe be able to finish this tonight. I think this is like a one-day kind of read. I'm roughly 18 hours, 26 minutes left, and I have just this left of the book. I am flying through this, and I thought that it was going to deal with like a little bit more, not heavier material, more complex, sciencey material, and I'm very like freshly relieved that it's not. Like, it's very understandable, and it's in layman terms pretty much to where it's easy for anyone to really understand. I'm at this turning point where some stuff is about to go down, and so I wanted to kind of get my thoughts on what I've read so far, and I am really enjoying it. It is very much so one of those books that kind of makes you look at your life and reflect a little bit. It has this overall theme of really appreciating the little things, just things that you feel like you might really take for granted. And especially like right now, 'cause my husband has been in Mexico for like the last 4 days or so, and so maybe like I'm just a little bit more touchy and emotional because he's literally like my best friend, and we've never been, I mean, we've been this far apart before, but it's been years, almost 6 years since we've been apart for this long. And so I'm really missing him. Just the way that like Jason is yearning for his wife, I feel in the same way that I'm kind of yearning for my husband at the moment. It might seem like very sappy, but yeah, I do miss him. I miss him a lot, and I can't wait for him to be home. I am literally gonna go pick him up from the airport in like 30 minutes. It's gotten to this point where something really interesting is kind of happening. We're gonna hit that twist, or there's gonna be some information given to us that we're gonna be like, wait a minute, something's not right. Yeah, I don't know. I have absolutely no guesses as to what could be like the answer as to what this information that was given to us. There's very few times that I feel like I can be surprised by a book, and so this is definitely gonna surprise me, which earlier in the video I was saying it's so predictable. I've predicted everything up until now, and now we're finally getting to this point where I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I need to keep reading. I'm gonna get my butt back in there to reading because I'm having a heck of a good time with it now. Hello, I'm back with an update on time. It's been a few days, I'm gonna be really honest, but I still got the timer going. I just have not been able to pick up my book as often as I've been wanting to. However, when I last left you off, I was still reading Dark Matter. I already finished that. I ended up giving it a 4.5. I really did enjoy it. I felt that like 80% of the book was very predictable, especially if you've read any sort of sci-fi books. Then you just know typically how things like with that genre goes. It just didn't wow me. It wasn't life-altering, but it was very engaging, very quick read. I think it maybe took me a total of 3 hours or something to read. I sped through that book so quick, and I was very eager to kind of like get through and see what would happen next. And there were some parts that did shock me, yes. I would recommend it to anyone who is wanting to either dip their toes into sci-fi or just looking for a really quick read. It was very good. I do, however, want to read Recursion, which is by the same author, but kind of touches on the same topics in the same field of science. I saw a review saying that it's basically Dark Matter, but done in a more elegant way. And Blake Crouch kind of like shot himself in the foot with writing Dark Matter because he just did the same kind of idea much better in a different book. So I'll definitely be checking out Recursion. And this has opened up my taste, my hunger a little bit for wanting to read more sci-fi books, definitely. So I'm not sorry about reading it. It was really good. It didn't leave me speechless or anything, aside from the fact that I don't want to talk about it, the science, because if you do, then you're basically gonna know what's gonna happen. So after that, I picked up Powerless by Elsie Silver, which is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series. I'm having so much fun with it. Surprisingly, you know what? It's a little early to say, but I think that I am enjoying Powerless more than I did Heartless. But now we are in Sloane's POV in Powerless. It's Jasper and Sloane. Jasper is like the adopted cousin within the family, and then Sloane is like the actual cousin. And they make it very adamantly clear that they're not actually cousins to everybody, because it's a friends to lovers. They've been friends since Sloane was like 10 years old. And so Sloane has grown up with this crush on him her entire life. And he is very famous I can't say it. A very famous NHL player. Not only is like a cowboy, but he is an NHL player, so we get that cowboy romance, but also the hockey aspect of it too. I love their dynamic. I love that they have a little bit of banter, but they're also sweet on each other and very protective over each other. And it's not so overprotective where it's just kind of like, come on, that's a little bit ridiculous. It feels very justified in the way that they're protective of each other, and they're literally just best friends. And he always tells her, like, you are my person, and they both secretly have feelings for each other, but they don't want to ruin what they have. And I'm having so much fun with it. I've been blasting through it, man. I am 40% of the way through, and I still have 15 hours left on this timer. I'm amazed at how much time I have left still. It is currently the 28th, and so I only have like 4 days maybe to finish everything, and I still have Billy Summers and Malice for my TBR to complete, and I'm loving Powerless. I might finish it tonight because it is Friday night. Tomorrow, my husband and I are gonna drive about an hour out of town because I found a vintage vanity on Facebook Marketplace, and we're gonna go pick it up. If you've been around, like, I've been mentioning it within the last few vlogs or so that I've really been looking one because I want one, and I finally found one. It's in great condition and it's so beautiful. It's like exactly what I wanted. I'm so excited. I also have a lot of other things I have to do tomorrow, so I probably am not gonna be able to spend much time reading tomorrow, so that's why I want to get Powerless done today. Yeah, so I'll come back whenever I have another update on Powerless. I'm predicting that this is going to be a 5-star. I've been having so many 5 stars this month. I read Done and Dusted, which was a 5-star. Mistborn was a 5-star. Mother of Death and Dawn was a 5-star. That whole wanting to read quality over quantity is really working out for me, and I'm happy about that. I have yet to build my TBR for July. I have no idea what I want. I'm so focused on trying to get this TBR done that I'm not even thinking about what I want to read. For sure Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood. That's gotta be on the list. I don't know. Maybe Hot Blooded, which is that second book with by Heather Gier. Is it Gier or Gier? I'm gonna go read some more Powerless, and I'll come back to update you. Here she is in all her glory. Look at how incredible. The detail up at the top. This is what I was talking about, very romantic. And I love the arch. And it's not massive. It's just it's not like chunky. It feels very delicate and romantic. And the drawers all have these incredible details here, and I just love it so much. It's exactly what I wanted. I just love whenever I manifest things like that. And it's so funny. The book that I'm reading right now, one of the characters' names is Starling. These people, they lived off of a road called Sterling. So I love when things line up like that, and it feels very magical, very manifestation-like. For those of you who helped me manifest this, fucking love you. Thank you. Hello, friends. So I finally finished reading Powerless by That's Not Powerless by Good Always. For real. There we go. Powerless by Elsie Silver. What can I say? I'm not gonna lie, it took me a bit longer than I thought it was going to. For any specific reasons, not really. I ended up giving it a 3.5? No. Yeah, 3.5 star, I think is what it was. Very beginning of the book, like the first half, I was eating this shit up. I was loving it. I was here for it. I loved Jasper and his character, and I loved that Sloane wasn't like so over the top. She was very much so like more level-headed, and she wasn't hot-headed. She wasn't anything super fiery. I could very much so like align myself with her. Now here's where I wanted to see more of maybe of that friends part. I do have to say that with Jasper, I really appreciated that he values Sloane for her mind and for who she is as a person and her character, rather than thirsting after her and her body and just imagining all the different which and ways that he wants to have her. You know what I mean? And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he got to know her as a person whenever they were children, before he developed any sort of feelings like that towards her. And so I really appreciated that. I appreciate that fact. And that's the part that makes me want to bump up the story to, or bump up my stars to like a 4.5-ish. I really don't know what happened or what was really the turning point, but at some point during the book, it just started to drag and was really slow, and it felt very stale. And it felt like Jasper and Sloane really never got to leave that side character kind of role within their books. It never really felt that they were both the main character. I know that Jasper was having a very hard time with the bow thing, and whether or not he was going to come back. And he was really struggling with that. And I don't feel like Jasper had a lot of growth at all. He was very much so the same character from the very beginning of the book to the end of the book. I didn't see a lot of growth from him, although his character is not, I wouldn't say incredibly flawed in any way where he needed a ton of development. Sloane definitely got more development than he did, and being able to stand up for herself. I don't know, I didn't see anything like that from Jasper. And I definitely don't think he was perfect by any means. I know that he was trying to let Sloane have her moment and not be super controlling and be another man to just tell her what to do. The only reason that he was okay and ready to go back to hockey was the fact that, one, he was getting some, and two, his brother was fine. That's the only two reasons that he was like able and willing to go back. He didn't actually work through anything, and that's where I feel like it was really stagnant. And I know that these are just silly little romance books, and they're not supposed to, you know, have really intense thoughts of like development, you know what I mean? It's just like a silly little fun time, and that definitely is what it was. I just don't think that it compared as much. And I do definitely feel like there's a place for characters who are more reserved. They don't always need to be hot-headed and fiery and butting heads with each other. I loved the banter that they had in the very beginning of it. I loved just how he was always like, well, you're my girl, kind of things before they were even romantic at all. I did enjoy the relationship that they have with each other, but I just felt like the overall story itself was just very bland, and there wasn't really anything to write home about. I'm more interested in seeing Cressida's little story thing. I don't know if she's gonna get something like as like a side story in the back, but I would like to see how that pans out. Maybe it's gonna happen more so in the next book, but I'm still gonna continue on. I'm actually more excited for Winter and Theo's story. I think more so than Jasper and Sloane's. Like, they were okay. Definitely the spice is getting kicked up a notch. I enjoyed that. I love how we're definitely getting to see Elise Silver's writing being kicked up a notch too. I think she is getting better and getting more comfortable. I don't know exactly which particular order her books have all been written, because I know that there's the other ones with Violet, and Violet's been mentioned several times, so I think that
her story actually came first, and then Chestnut Springs came after with the brothers. So I would definitely like to read those. I think that's the Off to the Races ones. I have still 10 hours and 39 minutes left on my timer, and it's technically July 1st. So this 24-hour readathon has turned more so into, let's see how much I can read within 24 hours, because it's been over the span of like 2 weeks. Sometimes it do be like that. I'm trying to debate whether or not I want to pick up the Billy Summers book or not. I definitely didn't finish my TBR before the end of June, and that's okay. I'm already setting up my TBR for July. I just got a bunch of library holds in for the next video that I want to do, which is I might pick up Billy Summers and read the first chapter, and if I can't get into it, then I'm going to move on to either Hot Blooded by Heather Guyette or Dungeons and Drama, or something like short. You know, something shorter, something that I can read a little bit quicker and get excited about. That's the plan for now. I wanted to finish my TBR, but that's just not happening. It's already July, so I can't. I failed that miserably, but it's okay. I'm still going to continue with the last 10 hours and see how much of Billy Summers I can get into, and I will come back with an update.